Hey guys, Ritzy Roy here, and I want to cover the second character who's really important right now to learn the matchup for because he's starting to come up on a rise, and this is Kazuya. I think I kind of lucked out that I played Roy, and I've known a lot of Kazuyas when he first came out. A lot of people who stuck with Kazuya, so I have like decent matchup experience against him. But I want to kind of help you guys out with dealing with him because not everyone was fortunate enough to know Kazuya when he came out or really get too much time to fight him. I didn't go out and like immediately grind the Steve matchup for 2 weeks. I go out and immediately grind a Kazuya matchup like I did the Steve matchup, but I do know this matchup a lot. I fought in a lot of Kazuyas in bracket, and I knew Kazuyas. So the important things about this character, it'd probably be better if I actually win him instead of playing Roy, are that up close, his frame data isn't like broken, but compared to a character who hits this hard and is this much of a heavyweight, it is disproportional. By that I mean, basically his moves are a little bit faster than they should be for someone who's destroying you. It's not like the fastest frame data in the game like Steve. Like Steve out frame data him, but his moves are faster than like Ganondorf, even though he basically is, honestly, he's stronger than Ganondorf. Which is kind of why fighting him up close is kind of dangerous, because he hits really fast and really hard. Oh, I got Electric Wind God Fist, nice. And on top of that, a lot of his moves, let me show you invincibility. I highly suggest after this video just going to training mode and just looking at all of his different moves and how they give you iframes. They give you iframes in different ways. Electric Wind God Fist. I gotta look. Let me change my save state because I don't like that. Electric Wind God Fist gives you iframes on like literally like his entire body, so it's super spammable. And that's kind of what makes it so dangerous, that you can kind of just go do it like over and over. You can just keep spamming this thing. The way that I would suggest dealing with it is it's a really horrible way of dealing with it, running away. Not horrible, but it's like it's not satisfying, but you kind of just gotta run away from this move because if it hits you, you just die. You can't approach it from the air because it gives him iframes on his body, so you can't land on him. You can try and challenge it with an F-tilt if you're a swordy, but it's risky. And blocking it's not a good idea because Electric Wind God Fist does a lot of damage and has a lot of shield pushback. However, the thing with Electric Wind God Fist is if he whiffs it. The only time it's like you really can do anything against it is if he whiffs it or it's not your shield. If he whiffs it, you have options against him. You can't do nothing when he's like in the middle of doing it and when it's starting up, but you can stop him if he whips it. So if you are a swordy, you can usually position, not where like you position with Steve, but you can kind of be like about here. So if he does EWGF, in the middle of him like dashing, you can fall down with an aerial, I guess. This is a bad example because I'm showing you with Kazuya, but with Roy, if I think he's gonna Electric Wind God Fist, I would fall down with forward air, and forward air is one of the best combo stars on Roy, so that would give me advantage state and stuff. And once I'm in advantage state against Kazuya, the main thing I would need to keep in mind is not to, you want to like really like rag on him, because his disadvantage state is honestly like it's low key one of the worst disadvantage states in the game. Like, it's almost as bad as Ganondorf's at the time. It's really bad, and for that reason, you don't want to go too easy on him in disadvantage. You kind of want to rag on him and like tack on as much damage as you can, and not overextend, because you do need to look out for this down air move, which this thing is strong and it beats out recoveries. It is good. Like, don't think this is like some bad normal. Down air hurts, but that is the main thing you're going to be looking out for in disadvantage state is down air. And if you can anticipate that with like a shield or a parry, you can keep juggling him. And when he's in the air, he is no longer, just like with Steve, when he's in the air, he is no longer broken. He's suddenly the bad character that people thought he was at one point in time when he wasn't getting results. He's only like the broken character when he's on the ground. He's like spamming Electric Wind God Fist like 4 times in a row. But until then, if you can juggle him, that's kind of just what you want to do. Just like with Steve. A second weakness he has is when he's off stage, his recovery, while it's not horrible, like don't listen to Kazuya mains and they say his recovery is horrible, but it is definitely exploitable. This up B, I think has I forgot if it's iframes or not. The up B, okay, so the up B is not invincible. The training mode saying it's not invincible. However, the hitboxes on it are, as you can see from my mod, they're pretty substantial. So let me up B real quick so you can see what he's working with when he does this. So 5 humongous hitboxes on the body. Like literally, he's encased in these really big high priority hitboxes. at the start of it, which means you don't want to like be too close to him off stage when he's doing this, because he usually would be out what you're doing. However, on his way up, it's just his head, which is still pretty nice, but this is workable if you're a Sori. You can usually come from his side or like his back or something and hit him. But you don't, it's like with K. Rool, you don't want to be you don't want to like try like be directly above him unless you're like Captain Falcon and you think you can spike him. But if you don't have like a really good spike, you don't want to be directly above him, because like with K. Rool, he has that really annoying head hitbox. Another option he has off stage, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this, but just in case you don't know this, you need to know this. His side B, once he does it, he loses access to up B, so he will have to jump and air dodge once he uses side B. As you can see, I'm mashing B and nothing's coming out. just to prove it. So when he does this, nothing. No up B can happen. So if you see a Kazuya side B off stage, just know they like are definitely gonna have to like double jump pretty much right after it, unless they side beat like to the ledge. If they didn't side beat to the ledge, like they side beat out here or something, just know they're gonna have to double jump, and their double jump luckily doesn't have no iframes on it, so you can actually hit him for it. And his like double jump revert, if he hits you, like after you double jump, if he tries to hit you, it's not a good idea at all for him, because he completely like slaughters the height on his double jump if he throws out an aerial, which that could be used to his advantage, but that can also be disadvantageous. If he does side B and double jump aerial, he can literally just kill himself, like you see there. So if he does side B, just know usually they're not going to swing on you too much off stage after that, because the risk reward is just not in his favor. That's like the only time in fighting this character that the risk reward is in his favor, is when he's off stage. So that's mainly like how you're going to exploit his weaknesses. What do you do once you get touched by him? It's like, it's inevitable, you know, we're not gods. Unless the person you're fighting you're way better than them, it's not gonna be easy. So when you get touched by Kazuya, watch me, like, I land Electric Wind God Fist, so I'm gonna like fail it like 4 times. Let's see if I can do it. Fail. There we go. So when you get hit by Electric Wind God Fist, if you are DIing, there's going to be a blue DI line that the Kazuya, oh my god, now I'm just failing it. There we go, that the Kazuya can see. Now, a lot of times people think Kazuya's combos are like, you know, true or whatever. They are true, but they are like DI reliant, and they have to change up the route depending on what they're doing. Something you can do is you can like hold one direction throughout most of like the stun, and then switch it, and that might throw the Kazuya off. Or you can literally just like do no DI, then like the last possible second that you can react to, you can just DI to the right. But usually the strongest method is to like hold one way, then as soon as it's done, just hold the other way. Don't do that too many times, so they'll react to it. But just mainly get tricky with that line, because you move that line in real time. That line isn't just static. You can change it as it goes. And that's usually how Kazuya's combo you off of Electric Wind God Fist. So move the line around. Don't DI in one direction against Kazuya. In general, with a lot of these combo characters, you gotta mix up the DI and stuff. Now, let's say you're not an Electric Wind God Fist anymore. Let's say you're just getting juggled in general. What you need to worry about against Kazuya when he's juggled or just beating on you is that a lot of his like combo tools have iframes on his body. So landing with an aerial is probably not super advised, because you might just... Bro, that's disgusting. His whole body... Yeah, he's entirely invincible on Electric Wind God Fist. Ooh, that's nasty. So yeah, that's more proof right there. If you land on him with an aerial, he might literally just armor through something you do, because he's entirely invincible on some of his normals, and a lot of his combo tools are just invincible or armored. So I would say what I would recommend is this really, really strong SDI, and honest to God, you might just die if you're fighting a good enough Kazuya, because even like Spargo and stuff die to his combos. But what you can do is this really strong SDI and just try not to DI in the same direction, because Kazuya's combos are all DI reliant, and they require for the Kazuya player to react to which way you're holding. So if you can mix them up and change which way you're holding, and like give the Kazuya more difficulty in zero deathing you, then go for that. Definitely go for that over just holding one direction. But after that, like, yeah, DI and Kazuya's combos, it's more of like a mix-up. It's more like a personal thing. Just don't be predictable. Switch it up a lot. It's kind of like with DI. It's kind of like with DI and Luigi's combos. You don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You really don't want to land with aerials against Kazuya, because Again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, his moves come out super fast, and a lot of them, like this one, like his up tilt, are invincible on parts of his body. And mainly in neutral, I would say don't go for trades with Kazuya. Like, don't go for trades at all with him because, like, he has so much invincibility. You're mainly waiting for him to do the option and then punish him after it. Don't try and preemptively hit him first. Honestly, yeah, that's a good thing I would say against Kazuya. Don't always swing first. Don't go for pressure on him. Don't swing first because his moves are really good and they're invincible. In neutral, you're waiting for him to make the mistake so you can punish him. If you try and swing first, Kazuya, like Luigi, has like probably the best reversal game in like Smash history pretty much. And if you get reversal by Kazuya, you just lose your whole stock. So you're waiting for him to make it. You're waiting for him to make mistakes. Doesn't matter how much of a rushdown your character is, you need to play good neutral and like spacing against him. You can't force yourself onto Kazuya. That's what he's trying to do to you because his advantage state's so good. So those are my general tips against Kazuya. They're not as in-depth with Steve because I didn't go to the Kazuya Discord and grind out as recently, but I have a decent track record against Kazuya, and I like to believe I usually win against him. So hopefully that will help you out in dealing with Kazuya. Those are just some simple tips. Both of these videos, the Kazuya and the Steve video, don't have this be your last stop. Watch a bunch of guides if you can, but this is just to give you some insight on how to deal with it from a player who's not a pro's perspective. Because sometimes when pros tell you what's like how to play the game, it might not always apply to you because you know you're not a god yet. A lot of us don't go to majors and stuff. Most of us grind in Discord tournaments. So hopefully hearing it from someone who also grinds in Discord tournaments, Discord like servers, hopefully you'll know what's up, I guess, or just have a different perspective. This is Ritzy Roy signing out. Good luck against Kazuya.